All right. I'm going to start out with the Leo tonight. Like usual, if there's any requests, feel free to mention them in the chat. Which, see a few of you guys are here already. Nice to see you. All right. Not a bad map for the Leo here. I think I might actually head to the hill, at least to begin with here. Alrighty now. Had a little bit of a hiccup there. Let's see if this works this time. Okay. Yay, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Finally started there. Whew. Just having a couple little hiccups, it seems like, trying to start here. Should have everything worked out, but like usual, you know, if there's any specific tanks you'd like to see, feel free to mention them in chat. I'll do my best to, you know, get to them. Tonight I'm just gonna, same old, be trying to fit in some tanks I'm doing doubles in. Yeah, it seems like a little bit of a hiccup with it starting. For whatever reason, it kind of hung up there, and I had to kind of restart OBS and, you know, get it back up. It's not like this match is going particularly well anyway. But hello Uber, hello Dana, Simon, and John too. Nice to see you guys. But yep, haven't exactly had. I wanted to test out streaming at 60 FPS a little bit differently, but I'm not gonna try it after after that little hiccup there in the beginning. Ooh, this is not good. Cannot pin him. Hello Abdul, nice to see you. Yeah, it's one way to throw off the stream now. It just sat there literally YouTube, and it's like waning, waning, and just kept saying that over and over. I'm like, God, great. So I got people behind me. I've got people on the hill. Honestly, I don't know who exactly I want to shoot at, but at this point, the KV5 is hard for me to pen at this range with this gun. But I'm gonna try, because if we can start getting tanks out here, we have a shot, but it's not looking very feasible at the moment. Let's see if we can try to get this T-29 back. I guess tracked him. I don't know if he has a repair kit, but ooh lord, there's a SU-120. Yeah, this is what I'm afraid of, is everyone's over on the hill. And hello Daniel, nice to see you. We literally have like no armor over here to work with. Kind of sucks though. You know, I had that trouble getting the stream up there because I just kind of sat on the hill, like not really doing much. But yeah, that's the wonders of streaming. Hello Graham. Yes, I can play the KV2. Which hopefully the stream looks fine. You know, I guess randomly changed a bunch of little settings in OBS to get the stream up. So hopefully, you know, it's passable. I think I got it back to good. I just kind of had to trick it into sending everything back into YouTube to restart everything. The turret traverse on this is so slow sometimes. Kind of surprised these. Ooh lord, there's a IS-2 here. Yep, and I just got an ammo rack. Awesome. It's just, yeah, the tanks we need to push aren't pushing, but oh well. Time to move on to something else. Yeah, you're doing a lot better in the Panther 2 Graham than I've been doing. This is kind of joking though, saying to sell it. Alright, let's see if I can fix this a little bit over here. Hopefully that doesn't mess anything up. Just trying to get back my OBS settings where they previously were. That would be very nice. Hello Rich, nice to see you. Yeah, I hate when you know, there's little hiccups here. It really throws me off for a little bit. Just gonna try something over on this side. Alright, that looks like it's working all good now. Alright, it's KV2, pretty almost top tier. Alright, T-34, decide where you're gonna go. Alright, I guess you're just gonna stop and look around. Alright, well, I'm heading this way. Which, there's a couple little, you know, wargaming's kind of getting back into the office, it seems like, after all the holidays, and the Russian server just got a kind of tank buyback thing, or a trade-in system, I should say. It's only on the Russian server right now. It's kind of like a test version, but essentially you can trade premium tanks. It's still not something I don't think a lot of people are going to use, because essentially, say you wanted to trade in a premium tank for a different tier or a different tank, they give you 50% of the gold value of your current tank, and then basically you still have to buy the rest of the tank, if that makes sense. So in a way, I could see some people getting use out of it, but overall it's still, you're losing gold by using it. So it's not like you can just trade tanks, you know, at a whim or something. I don't think it's going to go over very well. But yeah, it's a nice option, but at the same time, I don't, you know, there's no point in really using it. Now the enemy team pushed really hard over here, which good for them, considering, you know, our team over here is sitting there staring at one tier 5 TD. Yep. So that's going to be wonderful. Like, can you guys, like, please come and help us? Like, I literally have no place to go. You know, I'm going to get killed here because, yeah, we couldn't even hold any ground. Like, we have all these people sitting back here not doing anything. But that's why I always go to this side. If you lose this side, typically you've lost the match. So still did 1,000 damage. I'll pop back into, you know, the KV2 though, since that was a really quick sucky match. Not much you can do there. Hello, Solid Beer. Nice to see you, and Dave as well. All right. Yeah, I'll hop into the Oho. That was just a very, very frustrating match to be in there. It's not too bad, Graham, but I'll kind of agree with you. I don't exactly like the Panther 2 so far as well. Which more news is kind of coming about the tier 9, tier 10, you know, tier 8 light tank changes. It's looking like, you know, it's almost confirmed right now that as far as the US lights, the Bulldog, that's going to be going from tier 7 to tier 8. The T49 to tier 9, and then there's the Sheridan prototype at tier 10. It's looking like the T49, unfortunately, though. As of right now, they do have to test it, so still, it's not set in stone. More or less, the T49 is losing the big gun on it. That's going to be on the Sheridan prototype only, and the T49 is going to have a 90mm, similar to the one that has now. However, they are going to buff the gun to make it more viable. But you know, the T49 definitely is getting a pretty large change to it. But essentially, it's, you know, it's still going to be in the game. It's just going to be as the Sheridan prototype. But outside of that, it looks like the current WZ132 for the Chinese, that's sticking at tier 8. You know, that's not moving up. They're adding in 2 new. It's WZ 132-1, I believe, and then there's another one with another. Whew, I guess wreck that dude. There's another one at tier 10. Essentially, it's just going to be kind of like clone copies in a way, very Chinese. You know, all the way up to tier 10. That's why I kind of mentioned it, Graham. I knew you were talking about that sometime in the past week, and yeah, they are changing the T49 essentially, where it's not going to have the 152 at this moment. Like, they still have to test it, like I said. Like, they haven't begun testing it. But it looks like they're just keeping the tier 10, you know, the Sheridan prototype with, you know, that big gun. And then the T49 itself is going to, I believe, going to keep currently the turret, the XM whatever 11 test bed turret. It's going to keep that, but it's not going to have the actual gun tied with it. Here's one of these people. We're defending. No need to push. Like, while that is true, you cannot defend if you do not have any, you know, map control. So. Steven, essentially, usually how Wargaming does it now, like if you have the T49, they haven't stated how they're going to compensate people. More or less likely you're going to get the tier 9 light, but you're not going to own the tier 8, I believe. I think that's how they did it last time. So really, you know, whether you buy it or not, it's really up to you, but you know, they'll clearly state how they're going to compensate people, you know, before they replace it. So there's no time to rush. Just saying that. Just trying to get damage off here. Oh, it does not help that I just hit him essentially right in his mantlet. But now I'm going to start pulling back just because my Tiger 1 is as well. I'm not getting any lucky shots on this T-29. Huh, nice. You got tier 10 on, you know, the holiday ops. Yeah, it takes a while, but, you know, eventually you're going to get, you know, enough to get all tier 10 or level 10, whatever. Yeah, unfortunately, though, with this amount of HP left, I kind of have to turtle up here. Even though there's a high likelihood of them just coming around and flanking me, it's just unfortunate that I have to do this now. You know, yeah. Our team is very, very much turtling up here, which it's not the worst defense considering the tanks that they have, as long as they can hold up against that T-32 and Super Pershing. A little bit concerned about, yeah, up here. Ooh, he's gone. That makes it a little bit better. It's just artillery was aiming at us, and I'm so large that 2 more SPG hits and I can pretty much be taken out. Considering it looks like they pulled back enough. Without that KV2, T-29's dead. We'll be able to get these guys out now. Which some World of Warships news. I am playing that a little bit now. Plan on getting, you know, into videos and stuff with it again, but at the very moment I'm just playing a couple matches here or there. It looks like in 2017 they kind of teased, you know, they're working on something new. It looks like missile cruisers are going to be coming to the game, and a lot of people kind of speculate that the Russians will get the first branch of said missile cruisers. Essentially, it was leaked a little bit in like their video. In the background, there were prototypes for, or kind of drawings, like early workings from Wargaming as far as missile cruiser ships. So that'll be interesting if that's the case. You know, kind of looking a little further into it, they've kind of stated they don't know how they're going to balance it, or even if it's going to work out and they're going to have to scrap it completely. So just something to keep an eye out. At least it's not submarines. If it is submarines for whatever reason, I think that will go over very poorly for that game, but yeah. Alright, so obviously that Super Pershing is giving them quite a bit of trouble. Solid beer, like, you know, there's nothing concrete right now. Wargaming's like leaking officially and unofficially each tier on different days. Right now it looks like they leaked the tier 9 ones, but it looks like that rumored, what is it, the T-92 light tank, tier 7 premium. It's been listed as a premium tank for I don't know how many months now, but a very long time. That looks like it's going to slot in for the Bulldog at tier 7, and then instead of, you know, there's going to be no premium T-92 like a lot of people thought, even myself. That's going to be the tier 7, and then, you know, it's going to flow the rest of the way like it is now. Whew, that makes up a lot of this match as far as lack of damage. Just gotta make sure this M12 doesn't get me before I load. He's not even coming my way. Awesome. I'll take that. Hello, Michael Gromley. Nice to see you guys. Or nice to see you. Yeah, tank rewards is, you know, it's been... Oh, Lord, he's gonna kill me in my turret. Whew, just barely got him. That's been going up and down a lot. I actually Got the Ram 2 back for free since I hit exactly 40 points. I was hoping I got 40. Outside of that, I just got a bunch of like personal reserves and stuff because I rolled for like standard supply crates for everything. But I was just trying to see if I got lucky on something. Since there's only there's a minute and 31 left and a Scorpion G. I think I might try to play this a little bit safer than I thought I would. Only because he can cap us out, potentially. Not 100% sure, but it is a potential of him capping. So I'd rather just stay alive, to be honest. But with this T-25 pushing around, at this point, there's the Artie. There goes the Artie. I was about to say, even at this point, he can't kill all of us and cap us out. So I can be a little bit more risky here. He's probably up that way, but if off chance he is down here, I might be able to snag one more kill, but it doesn't look like it. There's only 17 seconds left. It's very doubtful I'll get any sort of shot on him. I'm surprised though he ran north because literally his only chance was trying to rush right up the center and basically one-shotting us. But at least he survived, I guess. Hello, hipster. Nice to see you. Oh, I got so many of these things. Yeah, we lost Pilsing. Yeah, I'll hop back into the KV2 since that was kind of a dud of a match. Not a bad match though to start out the stream. Alright, so KV2 again. If there are other requests, feel free to mention them now. I'm just going to be doing some of my, I guess, triples, I should say, tonight. But outside of that, I got plenty of time, for requests. Well, yeah, it remains to be seen what they're going to put in. If they do, like, cruise missiles and missiles, like, it'll be interesting to see how they balance out all the different ships that can get different missiles. They might just do, as far as offensive or offensive cruise missiles, stuff like that on ships instead of doing like defenses and stuff. It's just from hearing what they said and then applying it to that theory of that being implemented, because really it can only mean two things, missiles or submarines in a way. Like if you apply it to the missile theory, it's interesting, but it is very hard to actually implement. And who knows if it'll work. Honestly, like from playing World of Warships a little bit over the past few days, I still feel like carriers are definitely broken. They need to honestly make them more interesting. I say give them a lot more planes to work with, even if you have to make each individual plane a little bit weaker. But the battles just feel empty to me still. I have fun playing like a match or two, but they're so long, compared to other games, and almost I would say 50% of the matches that I've played over the last week, have been there's like one enemy destroyer left, even on like the domination modes, and you're just chasing him around for like 5 or 6 minutes, and you're not gonna win. It's just like pointless sailing a lot of times, I should say. I think they really need to fix that, because that's the main thing that kind of irks me is, sometimes I just feel like I'm just driving around here, not really doing anything. Like, yeah, say boring. Yeah, I can do those requests, Abdul. Which, hello Sam, nice to see you. I don't have too many spotters out here, they're all in the center, surprisingly, so I'm not going to push out here just yet. I'm just going to take another crack if this... Oop, he's not there. Not that I hit HE is not easy for throwing in there. There's a lot of little, you know, fences and little debris that can block your shot. But I'm just playing it safe, considering my team is, they're doing really well pushing the center and the other side. I'm just, you know, definitely doing my due diligence. I'm just gonna, doesn't look like I hit him, but it was worth a shot. Coffee tonight? Yes, a little bit. Okay, there we go. They're starting to move up. Wait till I have a slightly a better shot at him, and the shot went low. I aimed a little bit low, but at the same time, obviously this is not a KB2 night so far. Can you please stop hitting me? Like, please? Pretty please? Yeah. We're in a good spot to win, but being alone in a KB2, you rarely see me go to spots where you're kind of out on your own. It's just, it's good just popping in and out and taking derp shots at people, but trying to fight against a standard enemy is not always the most practical thing. Like, this T1's pushing towards me here. Honestly, I'm going to start getting towards my allies here. See if I can get some shots here, but also, you know, this thing is not... Whew, that T1 got nailed, though. You know, I usually like I say, like playing against a lot of 7s and 8s, where you don't really have to push out on your own and tank shots or be expected to, you know, like push a flank or something. So... Hey, I got a little hit there. Yeah, yeah, that's mainly my gripe. Like, I like CVs, kind of playing them a little bit, but I feel like as far as the amount of planes and like air squadrons they get, they, you know, definitely need to give lower tiers, you know, more, just because it would make, you know, essentially playing against them a little bit more interesting, make the match feel fuller, and, you know, playing a CV a lot more interesting. You know, as far as people complaining about them being overpowered, then you just, you know, nerf the damage capabilities of planes a bit. But I feel like, you know, it's still a good game for what it is, but at the same time, it definitely, they're pumping ships out, but not really focusing on the key problems in it. It's like World of Tanks, fortunately, it's fast pace, quick battles, more or less you go like at most like a minute without doing anything. World of Warships, you can go like 10 minutes sometimes without even seeing an enemy. And that's mostly towards the end of the match. You know, if you're doing that in the beginning, then obviously you're hiding in the corner. Anyway, not the best match here, but at least we're going to get a win. So, as far as other requests, we have a T-32, WZ-111, and a T-57. This guy's obviously hiding, so I just went on the cap. No point in me chasing after him. Which, I thought I heard Ryan behind me. Finally, I have better internet, so should not have problems outside of the stream messing up in the first minute here. Should not have any problems with like lag spikes or anything anymore. So, yippee! Finally. I finally ponied up and got a better internet package. Alright, so T-32. Which, interesting news from YouTube. And even Streamlabs. A couple things on Streamlabs, they're not really working out too well. They're having some problems because YouTube, essentially Streamlabs being the overlays I have here, YouTube's been updating things, as you guys saw. Like last week, the chat got updated. They are kind of switching. They're taking away what's called fan funding here. You see it on all my videos, and that's that little thing you can click under my video. Essentially send a tip through YouTube. They're getting rid of that come the end of February. Hopefully the sponsor button comes around then. That kind of like Twitch, where I can make custom things for my channel, and different things like that. But more or less, they're getting rid of that, and it's called. I think it's really, like, I saw it today. I'm like, is this like an April Fool's joke? But essentially, they're getting rid of that, and they're switching over to something called. It's called like Super Chat or something, where it's basically the same thing. Through fan funding, it more or less say tipping $5 or something. It pins your chat message onto the live chat at the top for a certain amount of time, based off of how much you tip, and kind of your message. So it'll appear like over here, since I have the overlay on the top for a certain amount of time. Seems interesting, but at the same time, I don't know why they're even doing it, because it's virtually the same thing, except for it just doesn't pin what you donate. It's confusing, but that's going to be coming out at the end of the month here. I'm hoping they start adding more features, to YouTube gaming and live streaming, but we'll see what happens. All right, KV4, are you trying to block me for a reason? I'm trying to get around you. I know it's a tier 10 match, but I am legitimately trying to get around you, dude. Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of World of Warships, just because, I like World of Tanks, but I can't play it, literally, like, every day I'm playing a game. I would kind of go crazy there. That was a really, really stupid move on my part. Especially with an E75 here, and come to think of it, there's an SPG in this match. I'm not going to want to stay here for too long. I just really need him to shoot now, and awesome. He nailed me right on that cupola. That was definitely an APCR round too, because T-32's cupola at that range against an E75, he shouldn't be able to pen it with a standard round. Alright, so obviously I am not playing very well to begin with. Like I was saying, I've been playing World of Warships and Overwatch a bit, so maybe I'm a little bit rusty. Oh, I completely agree. That's kind of dumb. Like, I think there's going to be an option where it doesn't pin up if you would like. I really hope that's the case. They're testing it right now. But again, finding concrete details about it is kind of hard. They're testing it with just like a dozen or so people. But more or less, as far as the changes on here, it's not going to impact, a lot of things, since you'll still be able to tip through Streamlabs using PayPal, credit card, what have you. This more or less just concerns fan funding directly. Awesome. Aim at the T-32, T-92. Awesome. It just is going to change that, but until that happens, there's nothing to worry about. All right, so I'm gonna hop back into the T-32. Of course, that was painful. It's like, not to say the T-92 was wrong in killing me, because he took a tank out, but like, why aim at me? There's more important tanks right next to me. But I plan on hopefully I'm keeping 4 days a week streaming for World of Tanks, but I might be, like I said a few streams ago, popping on. It's either going to be, I might do an Overwatch stream. I know a lot of you guys, you've seen me play it before, but if I'm playing it, I might just stream it, because why not? I'm playing it anyway. It doesn't really, affect anything. But I might also grab Battlefield 1. I think a lot of people, that's kind of, same thing, same aspect as World of Tanks in a way. That looks pretty fun. I plan on hopefully picking that up soon and maybe streaming that. But, World of Tanks, I really like it, but yes it could Uber. That's why, as far as, but thank you very much, Uber. The messages itself, I'm waiting to see the specifics, but I do believe, the content creator, that's the usage that the term that they use. Like, I'd be able to take something down if it's offensive. I have not, hipster, no. Why? Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I can't push now because that freaking heavy tank number 6 and everyone slammed their goddamn brakes on. Like, yep. Yeah, yeah. This is just a, for lack of better words, clusterfuck. Like, what are these guys? What are they thinking? Like, I was freaking gonna push, just push right up that edge around the corner because it's fairly safe to do that. However, all those guys had the bright idea of freaking slamming their brakes on and, basically jamming everybody up. It's just no words sometimes. But I guess I'm going to head to the north because, yeah, they don't look like they're going to do too hot out there. But, yeah. But yeah, it's always healthy to play, more than one game at a time, honestly. Like, that's why I want to start meshing in, like, Overwatch, Battlefield 1. I wouldn't, I play Civilization 6 every now and then. I wouldn't stream that because that would be kind of boring, sitting watching me basically destroy the AI, because that's all I really play against. Alright, I just spotted him. He most likely saw me as well, so I just have to be a little bit careful here. But if there's any games, honestly, if you guys want me to stream or try out, there's also Dreadnought. I plan on getting into that too. That's going to be an open beta here soon. It's just down. The servers are down until early next week. I think that game would be interesting for a few of you. It's going to be very similar to the setup of World of Tanks, as far as a free-to-play model, but it's essentially a space setting. I could have popped him. I missed my chance there. Oh, I'm not on top of things so far. Yep. Thank you for that, Scorpion G. I knew that was coming. Alright, I have an SPG behind me helping me out, but outside of that, not so much. I'm hoping I can get around... around this corner before the Scorpion G hits me, and he's gonna hit me. Ooh, maybe not. He missed. I need to ram him. Oh, no. It's like, I have literally zero help here. Like, this is gonna suck. Oh, luckily I have a... Thank you, Lorraine. It's just like... Oh, thank you, GW, too. It's just like, come on, guys. They're still sitting at that goddamn corner, too. It's just they're already, I know, is going to end up aiming for me at some point. Whew, that was lucky. I'll admit that. That was 100% luck there. I'm hoping the Yag Panther 2 is not in the center here. Or, actually no, he should be down there still. Honestly, I might go after their SPGs. Not that this is the best gun depression. I'm going to take a gamble and reload now. I'm just using heat just in case I run across one of those tanks, because they have a fair bit of armor. They could have came back though. Nope. Yag Panther 2 is down there, so is the WZ. Shit, I should have stuck down there. Just because the Tiger 2 ran away. Or not the Tiger 2, the Tiger 1. At least they killed that one guy though. Just kind of sucks because if I had known that the Tiger 1 was gonna run away, I would have stayed down there. Yeah, what does it look like I'm doing, GW? Thank you, Graham. Like I said, that was mostly luck. My problem is I had to approach from this way, because if I head here, my gun depression really limits the amount of shots that I can get. Just the main problem I have right now is they still have 2 SPGs, and one can come up, spot me, other one can, you know, sit there and shoot me, more or less. But at the very least, that guy's on cap. The only problem we're going to have now is this Tiger 1 is not moving. He's over here. Like, unless one of their SPGs went, like... Whew, I thought that missed. Oh, he might have spotted me though, which is a fair bit of a problem. I'm thinking this guy's over here. He might be back in A0, honestly, if he's all the way tucked in the corner, but nope, he just missed me. I'm just surprised that guy just got off a cap, to be honest, unless he's rushing back to the base, but it's gonna be too late for that, I feel like. So I'm hoping this guy doesn't hit me. I don't think there's enough time for the WZ-111 to get even close to spotting me. But this M40 should have 1 shot left, but... there we go. Whew, a little bit lucky. But, yep, there he is. Which, holy shit, how'd that Tiger 1 not even spot him? That was a little bit of a shock to me. Oh, Lord. that was definitely a interesting match. But I'll take it, steel wall. Most amount of experience and damage on my team, at least. But that was an odd match, to say the least. I honestly don't know. Yeah, I can, I'm hopping into the T-57, and then, I can play my favorite tank for you, hunting. Honestly, the amount of view range I have on that is... I'll just answer this guy. Honestly, I don't know, dude. I don't need to talk about the game to you. not to sound mean, but dude, you got spotted. Most likely it was from that Tiger 1, because he was very close to him, a bit closer than I was to him. And honestly, it's not that surprising he got spotted from where he was at. One tank wrecking ball? Kind of. If I didn't go over there, we would have lost. But I took a lot more damage than I needed to over there, too. Thank you, Michael. Let's see. I can play the low, yes. I can do that. Yeah, essentially the new Jagged Tiger Premium is... it's like a stock one, just a tier lower in a lot of ways. Which I said... excuse me. The Leva? I still can't say it. Leve? Oh, I'm terrible. Thank you, Graham, for sending me, that link to pronounce it. I am the worst. Let's get this up here. Maybe I'll just hit translate on everything. Let's get a little bit of German here.
Löwe.
There we go. Every time I need to say it, I'll just hit the translate button and have it speak for me. I blame my high school English, or I guess I should say elementary school English teachers. As far as the difference between PC and console, like definitely the controls, like you said, they're different. But more importantly, I'm gonna reload here. The difference between, like, I played a bit of console. I didn't play it enough to get well-informed opinion, I'll say, across like all the tiers. But what I find, because of the difference in controls and a little bit of difference in maps and stuff, consoles, they're a little bit less, or a little bit more forgiving, I should say. Only because it's harder to aim on consoles. I find driving to be, similar in, your tank goes where you want to be. However, as far as aiming goes, I find consoles to be, since you have analog sticks. Ooh, awesome. He's probably not happy with himself. It's a little bit more forgiving because it's a little bit harder to pinpoint your shots, I feel like, on consoles. And with that, you're definitely going to get a lot more blocked damage. Moving around in mediums is a little bit harder to, like, I won't say for everybody. Some people, will be very good at aiming, but just generally speaking, I find to be, it's a lot easier to, not get hit and to move around on consoles. But also, I definitely think the interface of consoles is lacking. I think it's terrible compared to the PC interface. Like, I watch people stream the console one, honestly, more than PC when I'm watching streams, and I think it's, I don't know, the interface looks like it's from like the 90s sometimes. That's a very interesting story, if not saying you're lying. That sounds very very interesting, Uber. Can't say I have anything close to that. I'm trying, hopefully I can scoot around here. I just saw the E3 was working back towards us, so me moving out over here, I got some shots on this guy if I'm lucky. If I don't hit them all in the turret. Yep, hit 2 out of 4 on the turret. I'm gonna want to get on back here. Whew. He just caught me. That hurt a bit, but he's dead. Fortunately, we got him out. There's no arty, so I'm playing in my little favorite spot without SPGs available. Surprised that bat chat hit me without being spotted. You know, I definitely know he's right around there. Unfortunately, though, I just got hit by T-34. Ah, shit. Yeah, I need to bail out just because my team is... They're playing very defensive over there. Now, there's an E3 over here I gotta be concerned about if he pushes up. I don't think he will, but he might. 2/3 true. But yeah, as far as consoles go, you know, looking at consoles, it feels like the game, like outside of it being harder to, you know, because using a mouse is very easy to get, you know, the aiming reticle and where you want to go more precise. I feel the movement pretty much equal, but you know, consoles almost feel like they do have some pretty cool features as far as like weather effects, different interesting maps, but it feels like and looks like the game was like 2 or 3 years ago. You know, compared to PC, a lot of balancing decisions that are on PC aren't on console. Like I'm pretty sure the Waffle Trigger E100 is still on console, last I saw, but you know, it just seems like the console version, while they put in some cool stuff, like I thought for a while, you know, seeing the cool things that console gets, you know, made it better than PC. Honestly, kind of looking at people play it though, it still feels like a slightly it's worse as far as balancing is concerned, I feel like, between the tanks, because some obvious changes that the PC has made over the years, it seems like console's a little bit behind. What equipment do I have? I'll have to look. I believe it's ventilation, optics, and a gun rammer. Let me try this again. The Louvre. That's close enough. You know, it's pretty accurate on the move, I find. So I felt like it didn't need the vertical stabilizer that it has access to. I know pushing in here is going to be bad for me. Whenever you're, you know, against more opponents than yourself, typically pushing in is a bad decision, just because, you know, they're going to be able to, you know, exploit your weaknesses like this a lot easier. Distance is always a good thing for the most part with your survival when you're outnumbered. Always try to keep that distance, you know, back away, keep yourself alive. But fortunately, you know, my team's pretty far ahead here to where it doesn't matter if I die there, live there. But thank you, hunting. Yep, totally. Definitely a magic trick. You caught me. You know, let me wave my... Here, this is the closest thing I have to a wand. Let me wave my wand here. That's honestly, I got a sound blocker here. Alright, so let me hop into my favorite tank here. That would be the E3. I have my, I bought a sound blocker here, but the freaking attacher, it looks like a freaking snake for, like, clearing out your freaking plumbing. The thing's like, it weighs like 4 pounds, so if I put it on my boomstick here holding my mic up, it would like crash to the ground and fall through the floor. Like, I didn't know they made things that heavy. The new JT Premium, where you can read that, typically, as far as leaks go, you can probably find it, I believe, on the dailybounce.net. Currently, they provide, you know, probably the most up-to-date news on World of Tanks. There's also Rita's status report.live. Between the two, you can probably find that. Essentially, it hasn't gone into super test yet as far as balancing. There's like initial stats, but they haven't like hammered out what they're gonna do with it. More or less, looking at it, it's gonna end up like the current premium Yag Tiger 8.8 centimeter. However, it's gonna have the stock Yag Tiger gun on the tier 9. and not have preferential matchmaking. So looking at that, it's going to be, essentially like a high alpha, lower DPM Tiger 8.8 without preferential matchmaking, which sounds pretty good to me. Yeah, there might be some more changes to it, but that's what it's most likely going to come out. Essentially, not to say it's a copy paste, but at this point, World of Tanks, them introducing fresh ideas to the older nations like Germany, Russia, and even U.S. in a way. Not to say they're limited, because there are unique tanks they could put in, but I feel like as far as the premiums go that they're putting in to give these nations tanks in the tech tree to replace the preferential ones, we're going to find a lot of tanks are going to be very similar to the tech tree ones. Hello, Rich. Rich Birchinger. Tournaments. I used to do tournaments, clan wars, stuff like that. Nothing within the past 2.5, 3 years, I would say, though. It's just way too much time, honestly. Funny enough, somebody that goes to my high school that I graduated from and my girlfriend teaches, he's currently... Ooh, he got nuked. He's currently playing in the wargaming North American League, like esports. Yeah. But outside of that's my extent of participating in tournaments. Is that somebody who lives near me does it? I'm gonna want to move out of here before Artie. Oh crap! Why are you pushing into me? I wanted to slink away. Because they are definitely aiming at me. Yep, I just got whacked by a T-49 too. Leave me alone. Okay. Yep. Of course he hit me. Knocked my gun out too, which is now going to be damaged for the rest of the match. This is why I never come up here anymore. But I guess couldn't stand sitting here and being useless. It's just I find that spot very overused, and it honestly isn't as good as you would think. Just because a lot of TDs go there doesn't mean it's the best spot. But at least I helped get the E5 out. But getting whacked by essentially 2 SPG shots there did not help me out. Hoping this WZ 111-14 doesn't push, but I need to run away here. I'm going to be a bit exposed, but hopefully they don't exploit me running away. Ooh, he might have seen me. I do have I think I have 6 cents on this. IS-3, you pushed up there. We couldn't get to you. But the South definitely has an advantage getting up here. And the North definitely has an advantage getting over here. Oh, Lord. I need to start paying attention a little bit more how I'm driving instead of trying to point out things. I can always do that later. Yeah, it's just, unfortunately, trying to push south now, a lot of people know this map now, and pushing from this side usually is not in your best interest. But I did it anyway for some reason. Yep, gotta love a damaged gun. This gun's already a little bit inaccurate, I feel like, but damage, it's definitely very inaccurate. We're definitely not going to win this match. But at the very least, I might be able to get one more shot off if this T-30 doesn't round behind me. He's going to get very close because this WZ looks like he stopped. Yep. I'm going to... Oh, shit. Now they tracked him. Oh, I'm getting... Yeah, I'm not gonna... I don't have a repair kit. Holy shit. Somehow I'm still alive. Yeah, that was gonna be my only chance at taking a shot there. I feel like. Yeah, I didn't even catch up there. I tried. Well, that was my favorite tank, hunting. Alright. So I'll play the Louvre. That's as close as I'm gonna get there. Uh, Thank you, hunting. But as far as equipment on that, yeah, I was right. Vents, optics, and a rammer. I thought about the vertical stabilizer. It's accurate enough while moving around. Yeah, as far as Overlord, the changes, basically, it's going to be a very good map from what I've seen. As you've referenced the video, there's a video of the super test version. Nothing's final. They always essentially, you see all these things from super test, and they don't like things getting leaked that they don't want out there, only because, kind of like the sandbox, they take all this data in, and then basically they make their decision off of that, and things are always going to change in between that and the live test server right before the patch, and even things can change after that, but they're usually minor. More or less, I think Overlord, the changes that they're doing, I think it still keeps, the theme of, D-Day, the assault on the beaches very much intact, but it definitely makes it a much more balanced map. I wish a lot of maps, looking at it, you still kind of have the general gist of like three. Essentially, Overlord looks like it's going to turn into 4 lanes essentially, but in between each quote unquote lane, since they're not true lanes, there's like, there's always like 2 or 3 different side routes that you can kind of go off of and flank people or change your position. I think a lot of maps need that. Take this map for example. If it was a little bit bigger, they could definitely make the center a little bit congested or less congested and let you move around a little bit more. Whereas currently, once you're kind of in your spot, you're stuck brawling it out with whatever tanks are in front of you. I have not played it yet today, but I can. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get any chances to play really before the stream. I think I played 1 match. I've been dog sitting and bunny sitting, or rabbit sitting, for my brother. He's currently away, but I do it every year for him. His dogs are getting really old too, so I kind of feel bad for him. Oh, their little rabbit though. That thing's so funny. Like I've never seen a pet rabbit before, but more or less this thing was like, it was like the bunny from hell. The face it was giving me, and it was like thumping around all around its the edge of its cage outside, which is pretty big. It's like freaking like 20 feet by probably maybe like 8 feet across. And it was like thumping, and it did not want me to come in its little thing, but hey, I'm the only one feeding you for the next like few days. Oh, this is not going to be good. Alright. So how I've got to approach this, I just need to set up a little bit further back. It's not exactly working. The side on this did get a buff as far as the armor goes, but it's still not capable of getting, because it doesn't turn very quickly. I'm trying to keep myself where I can angle and get bounces on my side armor, but I'm also trying to bank on one of these guys making a mistake. That's alright. Honestly, I was hoping our other side would win, but it's not looking to be the case. get this super Persian to come. Whew. Almost got him. I'm still not used to the alpha on this thing. It is a little... Ah, shit. The Patriot got that, dude. I had no... no incentive to shoot that KV-3, to be honest. I was all trying to set up the super Pershing. Or basically that was my main goal. Now I'm kind of screwed here, though. Yeah, they're just gonna kill me. Well, especially with my engine out. Well, at least I got one of them, but this thing, I don't want to try to get too close to enemies. But, for this map, if I had sat back, those two arties would have just hit me. And the Udes wouldn't have had any chance for getting shots off. But, unfortunately, though, small map, and yeah. Alright, so no requests as of yet, but if you guys have other requests, feel free to mention them, because the Panther 2 is the last one up here. Litter train rabbits? That might be, not to say my brother is not the best pet owner, but more or less that would be a little bit more than he would want to do. Because this rabbit has like a gigantic freaking cage to run around, and it's a house outside. It's pretty nice for a rabbit, but I could never see, honestly, them training a litter train one inside. It's like yeah. Plus the thing, literally, I thought it was gonna chew my hand off. Yeah, I can play the tiger one. It's like I haven't seen it yet. Today was the first time I saw it, and it was just staring at me, like thumping on the ground, like, "You're not getting over here, dude. I don't know you." Yeah, I can play both of them too, Graham. Yep, I can play those as well. Yeah, I appreciate requests. It makes, choosing tanks in between, the doubles and whatever, triples I need to do easy. But yeah, I'm hoping I finally start getting caught up on these replays, and now I'm hoping, because as far as watching, dog sitting, rabbit sitting, whatever you want to call it, it takes about maybe like 2 hours out of my day, so hopefully I'm able to squeeze in a bit of stuff outside of the stream, but maybe not. At the very least, though, like I might, like you might see an Overwatch live stream, something else pop up on maybe like Monday or Thursday, one of the days I'm not streaming. Don't be surprised, if you see that. I know it's not for everybody, but I might get Battlefield 1. I was honestly gonna pick it up, but then I'm like, I'll just play some Overwatch. I haven't played that game in a while, but yeah, I think that's a pretty fun game though. It's not something I take seriously like some people playing it. It's just fun playing. Essentially a FPS, but you have a bunch of different characters. Kind of. It reminded me, I remember you linked, I think it was you. Yeah, from Monty Python. That's what popped in my head, honestly. Thank you very much, Cheeto. I did not want to shoot that IS-6 I was shooting at. Nope, not at all. Hello, Orlando. Nice to see you. But yeah, it ended up being nice. I think it liked me because I went to PetSmart for the rabbit and his dogs, and I got them some treats and a couple new toys to play with. I'm instantly regretting this decision because I see that IS-3 there. This IS-6 is pushing up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna die here. And yeah, nobody is really looking like they're gonna help me here. This Oni is gonna probably crush me. My only hope is if he like falls off the frickin' cliff and kills himself. Definitely didn't do myself any favors at all here. I'm definitely garnering a lot of attention, but yeah. Unfortunately, we lost so many people that are trying to push into, you know, the enemy, and they're getting whacked from over here. It's, yeah. Never push into pre-aimed enemies. I was hoping that IS-3 wasn't there, but really, the only other choice I had was sit there and then slowly die, instead of die a little bit quicker. But, alright, so request-wise, we have Tiger 1, the 120, Pershing. Just trying not to lose these requests here. And nice, you had a GTX 950? That's a pretty good graphics card for, you know, most games now. All right, I only say not exactly a good matchup. It's been happening a lot so far tonight. Only because I'm inclined to push up here, because typically once you lose this area, it's encounter, you lose a huge chunk of your team, and there's no coming back from that. But, yeah, I can play a T-29, Michael. Yeah, it's just the Tiger one. It's not built for pushing up here. Decisions. I'm going to start heading that way, but I might end up changing my mind. Just there's two SPGs as well. Basically, both of them can either one-shot me or very close to one-shot me. Yeah. I'm just not really getting much luck with, as far as maps go. I don't care too much about where I'm at on a team as far as matchmaking, but if I don't have a map where I can work on well, that's a problem. They can definitely see me now. But at the very least, we have a lot of people pushing up there, so hopefully we'll outnumber them and we can win this quickly. It does remain to be seen now. I'm gonna go up there though and help. Especially because, you know, we have a couple tanks back here, but not having our Yag Tiger up there could be a problem considering both of their 9s are up here. You guys will probably hate me for saying this, but honestly I've never watched both of those movies. At least completely. Watch out, buddy. Yeah, nope. Honestly, I don't know why I kept coming up here once I saw that they were outnumbered even before we lost that OHO. So this STA-1's gonna, you know, drive right in front of 3 of their tanks. I'm gonna cut my losses right now because really the only chance we have is to pull back a little bit and start getting shots on them trying to crest the hill. But yeah. But at this point, not to say we've lost, I hate giving up early on in a match, but yeah, we just do not have any HP left. So I guess I'm just going to try to make the most out of this. but the enemy's definitely playing this smart. They're just slowly, slowly moving up, killing whatever tank is trying to sit out there. But I'm just going to be a filthy damage farmer here. Not that there is much that I honestly can do. Honestly trying to track him, but hopefully a HE round will suffice against the Oho. Oh, never mind, I did not have to worry about that. I don't have any shot on this 416. But, yeah. Times like this, though, just fend for yourself and worry about doing, the best for you. I'm going to actually switch over to AP. Only because the best for you, trying to get damage off here when it's kind of a losing fight, it's still the best for your team. But if you're going to have any chance at winning, you're not going to win by being dead. Oopsie daisy. I am bought it now. Oh shit, this T-30. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be dead here very, very soon. Spare me. But, oh well. Yeah. Anyway, next request up was the 120. We lost Corellia. We lost Tundra. At the very least on Tundra, I did all right on there, but yeah. Never heard of any of them. But then again, I don't have Netflix. The only thing I have kind of access to is Amazon Instant Video, since I have a Prime account. But yeah, outside of that, we don't watch enough like movies and whatnot to really justify having Netflix. I had it years ago though. Really, the only reason I got back then was to watch the TV show Lost. Trying to catch up on all those seasons, but after that I ended up canceling it. Alright then. Let's see if we can break out of this funk. Just haven't really been given very good, like, some maps, like, I might just be complaining a little bit about, but just haven't really seen a very good, like, right now all my team is heading up here, so knowing that I'm gonna die here alone, so I'm best to try to fight in the north here, but this thing doesn't have gun depression. But at least there isn't artillery. It's just there's no point in me going down here where I typically like to fight in a higher alpha medium, something with a little bit of armor, just because you're gonna end up basically being useless down there, and you're gonna die and not get much off. It's just not worth it to try a spot where you have no support. Hopefully nobody's straight ahead of me, which is very likely. Lord, he's probably gonna whack me. I got a little bit lucky there. Just the T-95, I assumed he was gonna keep going left, but he ended up turning back my way a little bit sooner than I thought. Come on, Centaurian, save your HP. a bad shot. Since I know this KV-4 doesn't have the best gun depression, so him trying to come around and kill us, not exactly good for him. But I'll gladly sit out here because of no SVGs. It's hard for them to damage me. Not impossible, but you know, a little bit difficult for them to actually get a damaging shot. But our team, you know, luckily the enemy did not push the south very hard, or at least they haven't pushed it yet very well. That definitely, if we had gotten pushed hard on the south early, we would be in a pretty tough spot. Alright, since we have a lot of guys out there, they're trying to push into a T-28 and a T-95. It's not exactly the smartest decision in the world, I should say. I'll just gladly keep taking off 400 plus damage a shot here. This IS-3 finally got fed up, it looked like. Not exactly the best best maneuver there, though. He would have been better off trying to go straight across, more to his left. Yeah, I can play the E-25, Rich. Try to keep him tracked a little bit. Now they're getting a little bit more aggressive here, since you know, they were pretty far behind, but now they're starting to make it back in it, mainly because our guys in the north, they just kept poking out against all those freaking the TDs there. Like it doesn't make that much sense. Like they're all pre-aimed at you. You're not gonna penetrate a T-95. So why keep doing it? Or even if you are penetrating them, you're losing a lot more damage than you're actually causing. But our south definitely took a big hit too. Oh, come on, IS-3. Couple more inches. Shit. I was about to say my gun depression is not helping me here. Or is my accuracy? That was a pretty big miss. We could have gotten that the IS-6 out there. Holy shit, I actually penned him. That was a pleasant surprise. Ooh. It's like, how many shots can the T-95 take? That's not good. He can aim at me now. Oh god. This is not good. He's gonna kill me. This is just like, oh. Without Artie, the game just changes so freaking much. Sometimes for the better, but honestly, I like games with at least one SPG in them. Alright, I'm going to try my best to get to a spot that the T-95 can't hit me. And it requires them to push, like this IS-6 to push on me a little bit. Since I'm running out of time here, you know, with them capping, our TDs may or may not be able to reset the cap. I don't have a shot on him. Shit. The IS. I got a little bit lucky there with the Centurion 7. Alright, now this is back in our favor a little bit. Oh, I was trying to get down a little bit lower, and yeah, I screwed that up. Yeah, if they just go kill the Centurion, you know, they'll win. But if they go one by one, we have a chance to lose. Trying to actually make that work, though, is a little bit more difficult than you'd imagine. Alright, let me try to get a double done. And then I'll move on to the next request, which is the Pershing. Let me finish my coffee there. Can't exactly drink that towards the end of the stream. Which, kind of looking at, it confuses the hell out of me. Like the tip jar and stuff. Like I said, Streamlabs is having some problems, and you know, unfortunately, the tip jar sometimes like cuts out for whatever reason. Oh well. At least it's not the game. There we go. Got it back up. Alright, got a couple people behind me. It's just those two AT twos, I guess I should say three, are extremely freaking slow. So getting enough support behind me early enough is going to be a little difficult. Always nice to see a Chaffee drown. I'm actually going to approach this a little bit differently. Alright, nobody's bum rushing here, so that's very good for me. I'll gladly move up. Still not out of it because IS-2, KB-3, some other slower tanks could be pushing up here and still get around and kill me. But best to at least make sure I'm not rushing in 100% to my death. There are 3 SPGs I have to worry about. The Leo essentially has no armor. This guy should be taking, let's say, more damage than he is. I just hope these guys move up that are behind me. It's just there's not a lot of enemies. Yeah, there's only like 1 or 2 other tanks shooting at me, looking at the misses. Like there could be more over here. I've been known to lie to my teammates, though, to get them to move up. Just once or twice. Don't know why he just did that, but I'll gladly kill him. Yeah, the other side's just getting pushed hard on. Honestly, the KB-3, he'll be able to deal with anything that's down there. Okay. Let's see, it would be in my best interest to try to kill this Hellcat. That actually worked out awesome. I am very sorry, Hellcat. I honestly didn't think I was even going to hit him. That worked out perfectly. A damaging track shot. Okay, that was extremely poor. Alright, this is going to be a little bit difficult for us considering 3 of our tanks left, the AT2s, cannot penetrate about half of their tanks at range. That's being generous, too. I'm concerned about these guys up here, but at the same time, if for whatever reason our KV-3 dies, we have literally no chance of coming back. Yep, this is... It's like the SU-100. Do I think he pushed through their cap? I'm hoping. It is hard to get non-platoon mates to be meat shields. We have 13 seconds to reset, but honestly, yeah. I wouldn't even be able to get there. It's all up to you guys, but yeah, it's just they were doing the right thing by capping, but it just played out where our team all went on my side, which I was fine with, but once we saw that there was only a couple tanks, like, I shouldn't need to point out to you that you need to push up or do something, because, like, honestly, it's not that hard. Like I've had a couple people, ask, like, message me about how you can do better and stuff, just over the past couple days specifically, and, really the little things, like, yes, they help. Like, you can learn every weak spot, learn the ins and outs of your tanks and stuff, but a lot of it just comes down to, paying attention to the map and knowing the general, play styles of your tank and also the enemy tank, and basically playing to your strength and their weakness. But a lot of it, like, as far as the maps go, like, if you see that there's 3 enemies on the right side of the map and 10 on the other side, that leaves 2 unspotted, and it gives you a good sense where you shouldn't push, where you should push, where you should kind of set up so you can hit the main group of the enemy, or if it's worth you to take out the weak flank, stuff like that. It's just, paying attention does a lot. I always leave it at that. It's just a lot of times that, I do really crappy and get caught in bad spots. I'm not paying attention to the map too much. And, if you notice, there's a lot of TDs on one side, then later on you're pushing across right in front of where they can shoot you, yeah, you're going to die. Like, yeah. But, at the same time, it goes with any game. Like, if you're playing an online game with a bunch of random people, you definitely have to do your best to keep on top of things, because you can't always expect other people to, catch on to things and kind of react, and you kind of go with the flow. But, yeah. Unfortunately, that last match, though, 3 AT2s. Like, I knew what they were going for, but them getting put in the Tier 7 match, they were virtually useless to us. They have no penetration on their gun, or they have a howitzer gun. Both are pretty useless against 7s, and even 6s to an extent. And their armor doesn't work against them. Wasn't their fault, but essentially we were 3 tanks down right from the bat. I'm hoping I can get a couple little spots here. They have 2 T-30s I gotta be a pinch concerned about. CDC, no! You're gonna take my spotting. Alright, the way that they're pushing up, they are either extremely overconfident and stupid, or they have a couple more tanks behind them. So I'm gonna try to pull back. So I'm very glad that CDC didn't shoot me and penned. So hopefully by pulling back they move up. Tanks sitting behind me will be able to get shots on them. At least one T-30's in the town, which bodes well for me. It's really, that's the 2 tanks on their team that can pen me through the turret. Yeah, they're not exactly pushing up anymore, so that didn't exactly work. Let's try to track him. Be very nice though if you know, the guys behind us, there we go, got a little bit of shots on him. That's why I was destroying his track. You know, I do more damage from destroying his track and keeping him out there and other people shooting him than I would, you know, just being the sole person shooting him myself. In this case, they can't hit this TVP, so better for me to get the damaging shots on him and take him out. Now they're starting to move up a little bit, so this should work out pretty well. Okay. I wanted to hit him on the hatch, but I am not confident in my aiming right now. Okay, there we go. Better if I just let him run into my shot, since he's just rocking straight back and forth. Here we go. Rather than trying to follow him like my first shot there. Thank you, SBG. Alright, CDC. So I'm just gonna go around him. Trying to track him here. That way I can get damage off and... yeah. Basically you can not double your damage, but more or less tracking someone, getting a, you know, you're going to do damage to them shooting at their track wheel on the side, plus anyone shooting them, you know, if you're the one to track them, you get that assist damage. It's a very easy way to essentially pad your stats in a way where it's not exactly detrimental to your team. Trying not to use any APCR2. You know, a lot of times in a Pershing you find yourself swapping the APCR just because the penetration gain on it is insane. Like, you know, it's one of these tanks that, you know, it's just been like this well before premium rounds became a thing. And, you know, when they're gold rounds, nobody used them on the Pershing because you only could buy them for gold. Best and only chance is right there. Hello, Tim and Jack. Nice to see you too. Hello, Casper? Cappers? I don't know if the C is silent or whatever. Where am I from? I'm from, you know, the U.S., New Jersey. Not a bad match here, though. I guess kind of stuck to the strengths of the Pershing. Tried my best to fight on hills, spot a little bit, take safe shots until this point where this guy probably drowned himself. No, maybe he's back here then. I'm probably gonna... Yep. I was about to say I'm probably gonna take a hit there. Luckily he didn't damage me though. Not too much HP for me to track him. I would have got no damage myself. Are we gonna kill him? Please? Good morning to you. Yes, I can play the T110E4, Tim. I can do that. Hey, I got an ace tanker. Holy shit. I was not expecting that, to be honest. So let me save this really quick. Honestly, I guess people have not been doing too well in the Pershing for that to be an ace tanker. That was a pleasant surprise, though, if I must say. I was expecting, you know, like a maybe mastery badge 2nd class, something along those lines. But, oh shit, I did not want to do that. Oh lord, hopefully that doesn't mess up. I just double clicked on a replay over here. I don't think it'll open up and mess up the game now. Alright, as far as the next request goes, it will be the FE215B. Let me hop into that. Oops. Let me hop into that tank here. Yeah, I'll be going till 11 o'clock tonight. You know, I've been doing 10 p.m. previously on Fridays, but pushing it, you know, another hour. Yeah, I was surprised. Even with the spotting damage, I thought it was a little bit low for an ace tanker, but yeah, especially without APCR. If I'd use APCR, I would have got at least another, I would say 800 damage or so on that. Alright, so there's 2 SPGs. Where do I want to go in this thing? I think I might set up over here, honestly. But decisions. I just don't see a lot of people going up the G1. Like the 268 might, but I guess now I'm going to be a big arty magnet being up over here. But fighting in this thing, range is definitely your friend. But I could go down here, a little bit arty safe, but really my only shots are if people push into me, which is not good, or mainly here. Yeah, whoops, I did not mean to stop there. And, you know, people shooting from E1 down into me, yes, I can get damage on them, but they're firing down at me, so almost all my armor is useless against them. But unfortunately, usually the defense on this, you're kind of set up for failure. The way that you spawn in. More or less, they spawn a lot of your team over on the right, and it's a lot harder for you to defend the right side if you lose the left. And the enemy's very capable of pushing through to 1 to 3 if they're smart. It's typically why I flex over to this side. Granted, at this point, they're pretty far into the center. It's like I'm going to try to set up for these couple mediums here, but just because I'm outside of their spotting range right now. I was also hoping I could sneak some shots on these guys, but I can't tell if I actually can hit them. Yep, go figure, the Type 61 can spot me. Alright. So I need to... yeah, I need to help these guys somehow. Ooh, that T-32 took a beating there. Okay. Very nice. Gun depression on this thing is not good for fighting close up. Specifically as you just cannot push over small little hills and stuff on people. I'm getting a little bit of spotting damage here, but I really need to start shooting things. I just hope my team holds up. They're doing a decent job in the center. Yeah, I'm just worried about. There we go. Oh shit, he is pushing here. My gun depression. There we go. I took a lot of damage from doing that, but I think that's gonna be the best for my team. We just have an M103 here now. It's just... I think I'll be best, honestly, sitting in the back and staying alive. Ah, that's very nice for a Pershing. I really like the Pershing. Like, I don't play it too much anymore just because I have so many tanks. But, you know, I've kept that thing for quite some time because... you know, as a tier 8 medium, it has very good armor, especially on the turret. You know, it has a very good premium shell, but overall its gun, you know, it just struggles a little bit against heavies if you don't use APCR, but you know, it's just a very good tank. It's almost like playing a, you know, almost like a T-32 in a way. It's just weaker armor, but a lot better gun handling and mobility. Just, you know, I like American tanks. It has a sprinkle of like everything to where it's, you know, you never feel lost in a Pershing. Holy shit, I actually hit the Type 61. This guy's gonna be popping down there. Granted, I missed him. German arty, it's more accurate than American SPGs, I believe, and also Russians, but definitely not compared to the French. Don't quote me on that, though. I've really only played American SPGs. Like, I don't pay too much attention to arty anymore, just because they're getting changed inevitably, so it doesn't make sense to, like, you know, spend resources looking into their stats. But like, I relate it more to the T-32 just because, you know, it's a standard tank. But you are right in that regard. It is much like the Patriot. That guy is aiming very, very odd. He killed me, but that was very strange how his gun moved about. But oh well. Here's hoping that we do not lose. Because they still have a couple tanks over there. But, you know, 3,000 damage, 1,000 spotting, not too bad. Alright, so... yeah, I can add the 304 on there hunting. So, next request was the M48. Here we go. So, as far as requests go, I have a T-29, E-25, T-110E4, and the FV-304. And then a couple other tanks I'm doing, you know, triples on, but mainly German tanks I have left on that. Still working towards the SP-1C. I need to get equipment on... I have the M4A1 Ravioli tank. I need to get equipment for that. Then I need to buy the SP-1C. After that will be the Meal 1 and also the Type 4 Heavy next up on my lines. Got a lot of tanks I need to grind here. I really wish World of Warships stuff carried over outside of just premium time. Because I have 120,000 free experience, 14 million credits. Yeah, I know, you know, you earn a different amount in battles and stuff over there, but I almost feel like they should have made it the same and unify it. But yeah, I guess you know, they did surveys or tests, and financially it made sense for them to keep them separate. Honestly, if I was a tier 9 heavy, I would not go over there. It's like they have 2 tier 10 heavies. It's better for us to let them come across and kind of defend from here, because you just annihilate tanks trying to poke over there. But it's, again, you got to play to your team's strength and enemy weakness, and us pushing over there does not make sense. Like, our strength right now should be us kind of pushing up here a little bit. I'm hoping these guys follow suit. I could get myself into trouble here, but at the same time, they have a lot of slow TDs. You know, they have a lot of, you know, tanks that are conducive for them to push on the other side. This bat chat, let me see more or less what he sees first. far as poking out, I'm not too inclined to poke out on a Yag Tiger, but... Oh, their IS-4's over here. Sneaky, sneaky. This is not good for me. Sorry, little bat chat. Now the problem we have is we need someone right here, and everyone's still funneling into the one line after, you know, after the fact. But right now we can swarm that IS-4. I'm not pushing out that way. Hopefully I don't take too much damage doing this. RNG be with me. I really need your guys' help. I just pushed out here on a whim. Now please help me. Thank you, E50. It's taking us a little bit longer than I would like. Oh, I just missed that shot somehow. It's like, why do I try to help people sometimes? At least I'm still alive for the moment, but you know, there are plenty of tanks there that could have just pushed up a little bit further to help me, but I still think that was my best option at the moment. Alright, thanks T92. Don't know why I was still being aimed at, but you almost got me. Alright, I'm gonna do my best to stay alive now, but yeah. Plus, it doesn't make too much sense to push into these guys at the moment with being one-shottable. Ooh, that's not good. I do not want to be spotted for the rest of the match. I do appreciate that. Thank you, Uber. But yeah, if you know anyone who's not a subscriber, you know, you like my stream here, or just feel free to request a tank. Feel free to, you know, hit the like button or, you know, subscribe. It makes my day. No, really, it makes my day. Thank you very much. Thank you, Cross Rider. Alright, I guess I can move up now. No shots on the Yag Tiger. But fortunately, I think that IS-4 thing was definitely in my team's interest. If I didn't kill him, because he was nearly at full HP when I went down there, yeah, he would have been picking us apart, so... Okay. Fortunately, this there we go. I'm like, the T92, I don't remember where he splashed me from. I don't have any shot except for on his gun. I would have taken that, but I think he's going to be dead before I can get another shot on him. I seem more professional? Well, thank you. Hopefully that's a good thing. You know, for a long time, like getting started in streaming, like, you know, I never thought I'd stay with it, but, you know, I like streaming now. Um, as far as, you know, when I first started it, you know, because I have anxiety, it was definitely like, do I really want to, you know, essentially be talking live and screwing up and stuff like that? And, you know, it's kind of grown with me. And thanks for sticking with me, guys. All right, so next up after this was the T-29. You know, with my botching of pronouncing things. But yeah, sometimes, you know, you just got to do a certain thing, which it took me probably 2 minutes. Um, you know, seeing that IS-4, he did that pretty early on. It took me that long to kind of basically talk myself into pushing down there. Like, you kind of saw me look through that archway. I looked at the enemy, that little building, and without too much arty, they weren't far enough up to completely annihilate me pushing through there. Really, I was just double checking it was actually a smart move for me to go through there. But once I saw that, granted, I almost died, but that's just because the guys I expected to push up, luckily the E50M did. They pushed up about 10 seconds after they probably should have. But yeah, luckily that worked out. But yeah, it's something you know doesn't show up on stats outside of, you know, a win here or there. But I'd rather have that win than, you know, get an extra 1-2,000 damage, stuff like that. World of Tanks Blitz isn't that bad. You know, I would say compared to PC or even console World of Tanks, it's just there's a lot less content and depth to the game, but it's still, you know, I think it's a fun game. You know, if that's your only option, or, you know, you like playing mobile games. You know, the only reason I have a tough time, you know, getting into console World of Tanks and also World of Tanks Blitz, only because, you know, I have so much time and money invested into this, and going to other versions, like, they don't have, like, even though PC has its problems and it doesn't get, you know, stuff done at times as quick as other versions, you know, it still is the most complete version of World of Tanks in my eyes. Okay, E25. That's actually a little bit annoying. Hopefully I hit you. I would very much like, you know, our team to push up a little bit further here. Actually, I don't need APCR. If I can pen him, I'm either going to pen him on the cupola or side. There's no in between for the AMX M4. Thank you, KB2, for derping him. You got him to fire. He's smart. He pulled back in time. Shit. I was aiming. I aimed on the right of his cupola, expecting him to pull back. Oh, Yag Tiger, don't do it. Don't do it. Like, why? Why would you push out there when you had like 8 HP? I can hit him. There we go. You unfortunately did not know that his tank does not have any side armor. But he did a pretty good job. Now our north, they're going to have a little bit of trouble there, but if we push on this Super Pershing, there's a Scorpion G back there. I was just about to say, that's why you don't drive directly behind tanks, IS-6. I was about to say, I'm hoping he can't hit me, but yeah. It's not worth it. Don't do it, dude. Yeah. Like it definitely made a good choice if we all pushed, but once we lost, I got whacked there. We lost one tank. It didn't make sense after that. Shit. Oh god. I caught myself in a bad spot now. My only hope is if he bounces and... Nope. AMX 12T got me on the right. Oh well. Yeah, unfortunately, our team just never got map control. But that's part of Sand River. If you sit back and you try to let the enemy push across, more often than not you're going to lose, because it's a map based off of vision. Alright, so what do I got plenty of time left. Hour when I get a couple more of these going. I'm tempted to do that, but I'm trying to save my my 50% credit ones for when I'm playing just all premium tanks. So the E25, next one up on the list here. What, some of these shots I'm taking? More or less than a T29, considering I wasn't in a spot to hold down. Aiming in is a lot more risky than me just popping shots, honestly. The T29, the main weaknesses it has is its gun's a little inaccurate, and really it takes a long time for it to aim in, as far as that tier goes. And in that case, it's better for me just to pop shots when they weren't fully aimed, because even fully aimed against like a super Persian, it's about 50-50 I'm going to miss. It's just T29 is a very good tank, but certain tanks you do struggle with actually doing damage on, which is why you want to play it as a hold down tank. I should have honestly stuck towards the bottom of that map, Sand River. I would have been able to spot for my team and get damage off, but yeah, I just unfortunately didn't do that. Good night, Uber. Or not Uber. Sorry, Graham. I honestly didn't mean to do that. Good night. Hopefully you feel better. Oh, that was completely on mistake. I'm just trying to spot here. I don't actually plan on sticking over this way. Yeah, a lot of enemies are over on that other side. I apologize for that for both of you. Which, for those of you, I've mentioned on my streams before, they're doing fantasy tankers back, or fantasy tanks, where you can kind of pick your fantasy team based off of the esports finals going on right now. I forget the complete URL. I think it's like fantasytanks.com or something like that. It's pretty interesting. You can win free gold and stuff. I've been doing it. It started in the beginning of this week, but it's pretty easy. You just go on, pick random people for the most part, and you might win some gold, some free tanks, every week, and at the end of it too, they have different prizes, but it doesn't hurt just logging on, and it's much like the Tank Rewards website, and getting some free stuff out of it. A little bit late to the party here. Honestly, I want to be up a little bit further. That IS-3 kind of scares me a little bit, though. Super Persian, why do you got to do that to me? Let's see if I can spot him. There we go. Let's say he's starting to show his side. No, he was going to spot me, though. I had a feeling that was going to happen. Meat Shield 1 and Meat Shield 2. Well, meat shield 1's already taken. That would be Anthony. Funny, Dana. Thank you very much for the tip. I wouldn't say not all of them. You'd be surprised the amount of those requests I get, though. Alright, he's pulling back. Come on, accuracy, you're very good. It's just a very small shot for me here. And yet he continues to push back into it. I'll take it. Alright, he should be pulling back again. Whoops. Trying my best to keep up on all these tanks here. It's just this super Pershing is tempting me to push in, honestly, but I know better. Oopsie daisy. I'm gonna take a little bit of a risk and sit out here. Luckily they missed me. Awesome. That worked out pretty well. E25 standards, this match has been pretty mundane, but it just goes to show you how good this tank is. Those guys were waning for me. Honestly, I wasn't even spotted this last time, and you know, they're still sitting there waiting for me to crest back up. I do the same thing though, like freaking damn those E25s when you're not playing them. At this point, I'm trying to track. That guy beat me to it. Let's say I'm trying to track them just so I can get a little bit of assist damage. And nice, Rich. Well, hopefully, you know, I'm glad that helps you out. You know, like I barely use camo nets and stuff. I know I play very aggressive, but there is a good reason behind it, and you know. Now that we're out of the thick of things here, our team is bleeding people left and right. Oopsie daisy. I screwed up a little bit there. Come on, accuracy. Here we go. Now I need to zip over here. Let's let our arty work on them. Don't do anything too stupid. Trying to get to somewhere where I can shoot without being seen, and yeah. Of course they zipped me there. Oh well. Now, yeah, I just died. I made a little bit of a mistake. I should have waited behind a building before I wasn't seen, pop back, then come back up. But just trying to point out something here. Our M44, you know, he can take a shot. He can very easily move up to where he's very close. They still can't see him. And his accuracy would, you know, improve at least, I don't even know how much on like an actual term, but I would say at least by 100%, you know, just closing in that distance. It's just the amount of, you know, SPG players I see that cannot move up as the match progresses annoys the hell out of me. Oh yeah, this match was pretty bad. Okay, so we have the T110E4 request here. I do not want to click on you. Yeah, E25 is very fun. I'm glad, you know, I got it after all this time. They did that, you know, very easy set of missions to grind out for a free one before they removed it. That was right when I was taking a break from World of Tanks, which, I know World of Tanks is, it's an addicting, fun game, but like a few of you guys saying, kind of burned out, playing it a little bit less. Always, for any game though, you need to at least have some options available. Any game you grind out and get burned out over the years, but and I would say, like, even though World of Warships is a pretty fun game, I consider both World of Warships, World of Tanks. Not that I play World of Warplanes really much, if at all, anymore. I consider them pretty much all the same game. Always try to find something different to kind of slot in there every now and then. Keeps things fresh. It's like tomorrow I'll be like something that I really like is board games. Like over on menzgaming.com, I have like a section for Settlers of Catan, or I guess Catan. A lot of people, that's how it's really said. But I'll be playing that tomorrow. Starting to get family game night back up, but I use that as kind of my break from World of Tanks sometimes. Oh no, this is not good. Why am I sitting out here? Oh, we have a big hole in the center of our team. This is not good. Alright, I'm gonna hope that the enemy has not pushed up very far in the train tracks, because I'm not liking our chances over here. It's like the Scorpion G just... don't do it, dude. Scorpion G just pushed over. I'm honestly falling back because it does not make sense for us to fight out here at this moment. Yeah, he's taking damage from probably, it looks like a TVP. Does that get him to back off a little bit? He's moving up, he's moving up. He's kind of behind the corner, but I'm looking to get just across here without getting popped. Him moving up actually made that a little bit more difficult for me. This might end with me getting one shot at... No, fortunately not. I feel bad for the mutts, but now he's pushing up even further. Oh lord, we're getting pushed very hard on. Shit, this is not good. Yeah, I can't push in here. Oopsie daisy, I messed up my my directional keys there. Oh god. Not that we have a really good chance of winning at this point, but yeah. My only choice is to sit back here and be a camper. I'm damned if I pushed out, I'm damned if I sit back here, but... that sealed my fate. Not getting that hit on the bat chat. I'll try to ram him, but... yeah. I'm surprised he waited to get around to my back, but yep, I'm dead. It just sucks because our team won this, but I shouldn't have sat out there as long as I did. Just that 183. I've been one-shotting E4s a lot when I played a 183. I was just scared to cross there if he saw me. Oh well. I'll pop back into the E4 though, since that was a pretty quick and bad match in that. So the next request up, I have the FV304. I still need to do some of my tanks. I need doubles on for Germans, but I can take a couple more requests. I'll play the E4, then I'll try to get my doubles, triples, whatever done. So Still plenty of time to play. Honestly, I'm waiting, like, with all these little, like, Wargaming talking about what's coming up and, you know, the little leaks and stuff about light tanks. I just can't wait for them to actually move forward. Like, you know, they've been talking about rebalancing for, it's been about 13, 14 months at this point. They need to do something. Because honestly, like, I like World of Tanks and playing, but, you know, they really need to come out with some new content if they want to, you know, keep people, you know, essentially interested and, you know, motivated in the game. But that's probably the one thing that consoles and even Blitz to an extent has over the PC version right now is, you know, the developers are actually, you know, making new maps and stuff for the, you know, those versions, and it keeps the game a little bit more fresh. I can play both of them. Hitting this guy is going to be like finding a needle in a haystack. Yeah, I missed there. Oh, no I didn't. I actually hit him. Holy shit. Alright, I'll start moving up here now and trying to get shots on these guys. Woohoo! I hit his track. Okay, I gotta focus on the town. If we lose the town, I'll be in a tough spot. The freaking shell velocity on this thing just feels slower than what is theoretically possible. And I know it's a game, but it just seems completely like it's like moving through jello. I'm trying to hit these guys. Here we go. Just keep them lit for me. Try my best to kill these guys. It's in my best interest. Awesome. Okay. I'm tempted to shoot the IKV, the TD down there, but the prototype, yep, he's the better choice for me there. I almost always aim behind tanks because in most situations the enemy is going to fire, move back to where they were safe right before they shot. But, you know, with Battle Assistant, it portrays it a little bit better, but you know, you can definitely aim just as well with, you know, the standard version. Alright, that threw me off a little bit. Yep, I was about to say, my problem is now, though, that building... that was a bad shot. Let's say, that building is destructible there. I can't shoot him through it, but he can easily drive through it. Oh, that was a bad shot. Yep. For whatever reason, he has, like, you know, a little sixth sense there, like, he's gonna shoot me. Let's move forward. But, yeah, I'm gonna start moving up till I get somewhere in this area. That way I can shoot basically everywhere where the enemy can be from now on. Honestly, not a bad match for this thing, considering, you know, how I play Artie sometimes. I'm lucky just to get damage in this because the shell is freaking so slow. This is one tank where before they nerfed it, I thought it was pretty well balanced. But the small little changes they did to it really hurt this tank. When they go to rebalance Artie, apparently, with Sandbox, even touching lower tier ones, this tank's probably going to feel a lot better because it should get a pretty... For as far as this tank's concerned, it's going to get a pretty significant splash radius buff for its shell. It's still not going to be doing a lot of damage, but you're at least going to be able to do module damage, track tanks when you miss, instead of now where if you miss, you basically have zero chance of actually doing any damage. Yeah, you know, it stays where it's a little hard. I liked when there was a lot of leaks and stuff coming about World of Tanks, but unfortunately, um, both games, even consoles at this point, are starting to get a little bit old. Um, what do I want? I could do that, but I think I'm just gonna go with, since this is an SPG, camouflage. But essentially, the user base kind of shot themselves in a foot in a way where, they stopped putting out what they're doing now, because so many people got hung up on things that Wargaming was developing, and it never came to actually coming out, like the Havoc physics and stuff. That was teased at this point like 3 or 4 years ago, and finally, this year it looks like we're getting small little tidbits of that added to the game. And as far as Havoc goes, it means more destructible objects, stuff on tanks. They plan on, I think, camo nets might be visual, stuff on that. Basically, tanks having movable objects and stuff on them. That's something where the PC version lags behind consoles to an extent. But, at the same time, like, World of Tanks is definitely an old game. And like I've mentioned a few times, Wargaming is working on a newer, essentially a new tank game. I don't think they're gonna look to replace World of Tanks, because this year they are looking at basically overhauling the game engine even more. Like the last one was focused around the vision, basically updating the spotting system, making it less of a lag between you and the enemy. I know that changed Sixth Sense and that, but it definitely was a step in the right direction. But the next one they're looking at doing is overhauling all the rendering in the game, as specifically for the maps. So we're going to get a lot better graphics. It's going to actually work better with multi-core CPUs, because even though the game uses, I think it's like 2 or 3, it's still very heavily dependent on the first core on your CPU. They're finally looking to switch more of the game over to DirectX 11. So that's going to be a very nice thing. But, they're still working on a newer tank game that, eventually, I'm hoping, like your account and stuff carries over. I think that would be very smart on their part. But, a game can only live on for so long. The Chieftain? I really hope so. Oh, Lord. I set him on fire. He's probably mad. I really hope the Chieftain comes out. I know that, consoles have it, but, and even the Chinese server. Not that that's a real server in my eyes. Here's a hoping, it comes out sooner or later. They've been teasing it for way too long. Why did you just try that? You got some damage on me, but man, was that a stupid decision on your part. Oh, he's so lucky I missed him, but I don't think he knows what reverse side scraping is. Hello, Ming. Nice to see you. I might take a shot here. Pushing out. It's just the E4. I do not like the freaking armor on this thing. I honestly don't think that guy knows how he's supposed to angle reverse. He's in a very good clan. I know that clan name, and unfortunately, though, I'm getting flanked on a couple different sides here. That was a very stupid decision on my part. But yeah, he's gonna get me now, the TVP. But unfortunately, in the E4, I made the decision to push out here, and honestly, it kind of paid off. But yeah, I'm gonna die here. my team never, they never pushed up. Basically, these guys had a decent shot at pushing up. We never flanked from over here, and we have a couple people out in the field, but I still did 3,500 damage, but I was very curious why the FV was facing backwards like that. I guess it kind of made sense, though, because I could penetrate all of his frontal armor. I can't set him on fire nor ammo rack him if he's facing backside. But he wasn't doing a very good job at hiding his hull. And nice. Hopefully you did well, Ming. Alright, so KV2, KV5 are going to come up. Let me try to get the VK. And I also still need to do the Panther 2. I am very lucky I don't have to take exams anymore. I used to be like a nervous wreck going into every single one. Alright, at least I'm top tier, but not liking the fact there's 2 E25s on the other team and plus 2 top tier 7s heavies. It's like penetrating them, I really only can do it from their sides. Just kind of figuring out where exactly I want to head. I might try out here, but I might regret kind of going over here. Yeah, well, both of our T-29s are, like, they are platoon, but they're both going north. It just takes so long. I don't like going up there in standard battle because it takes you so long to actually get to the enemy team. And a lot of times it's just not worth it. Especially because you usually fight through here instead of fighting this way now. It just... Losing the south, you can lose a lot quicker. Holy crap, that's spicy. I say it's spicy. I made tacos tonight, chopping jalapenos. That burned a little bit. But I'll wake you up. A little bit of jalapeno juice in the eye. But yeah, losing the south is definitely something that can happen quicker, and it's much more likely to happen. But this is why I'm heading over here. I can spot for my team, hopefully get a little bit of support. Let's hope that RD does not hit me. That was not very nice, but I'm going to actually wait until I have actual shots before I decide to fix that. Oh god. Yep. These actual shots are coming now because they're pushing into me. Oh no, I don't have a repair kit to repair my track, but oh, I don't have a good crew. Come on guys, don't let them push me over. Whew, that worked out, but now I have frickin' 2 more tanks. They're just sitting way too far behind me to actually help me out that much. And this guy's just frickin'... Whew. There we go. Their E25 killed me though. But damn, I did a lot for just one tank there, but a couple of these guys were just a little too far back to be able to hit these here, folks. That's why they, excuse me there, pushed up. But oh well. I still did pretty decent. My throat hurts my throat hurts a little bit today. Freaking these temperature changes have... Oh, it should not be... Yesterday here we hit a record high for January. It was freaking 65 degrees, coming up from like a high of like... it was like 20 something degrees like 2 days before that. Like holy shit, like it should not be that hot in January, on the East Coast. Alright, let me get a couple of these. Yeah, I'd like safe stowage, but I'm just gonna add on a concealment for now. Might actually go with clutch braking, but nah, I'm gonna go with that for now. Thank you, Ming. Yeah, I can play the WZ-111-14. Only on a good map, though. I will do my best. That's something where they talked about it, but they ended up not doing it. I really think that would be a good feature. Basically, they let you pick. Like, I think they were planning it only to work for people with premium accounts, but essentially you could pick, I think, two. They said three, but I think they ended up going down to like one or two tanks that you do not want to see in a matchmaking queue, but they decided it would, you know, make the queue too much longer and blah 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 blah. I think it, honestly, if they could figure that out, it would help a lot of people. Yeah, you know, that whole global warming and climate change that is not real at all. Yeah. But I think they more or less concluded it was less about it causing problems with the server and more about specific people like just playing a certain tank over and over and picking, you know, the few maps where that tank doesn't work well on, which, you know, is kind of the whole purpose of this feature, but at the same time it really hurt game balance in a way. So I can see why they didn't do it. Come on, aiming time. You can do it. You can do it. Ah, my God, that went so high. Oh, the reason I'm back here so far is I really want to see how the enemy team shakes out here before I commit to somewhere. If I push into the town in the wrong little alleyway and get face to face with a higher tier, I'm toast. So, just trying to protect myself here from my own self. So usually I'm a little bit too aggressive. Just wait for this guy to figure out that there's a tank in front of him, or not. Holy shit! There we go. I was expecting him to stop before that. Alright, that's kind of shook out a little bit. I'll try to hit this 5100 one more time, but I really want to go over to this KV-85, but he's probably going to be dead before I can help him. Come on, I'm banking on this 5100 popping back up. Yep, he did. There we go, I'll take that. Unfortunately, our KV-85 died, but we do really need to get some tanks into the center. I'm still going to play pretty far back since I'm low tier, but we have a pretty decent shot here still, even though we're down a tank. Trying to get myself in a spot where I can hit these guys to help out, but not get myself into trouble, which I might get myself into since I'm sitting out in there in the center. They can just come from this way. So I'm going to poke over this side a little bit more. Just eventually they're going to want to try to kill this super Pershing. The aiming time on this sometimes. Stop wiggling back and forth, dude. Here we go. He's probably going to be unspotted before he gets to me. Ah, crap. I was hoping, yeah, I wouldn't be spotted that soon. Shit. I guess, I think they've kind of realized that we're not really holding our ground here. That was very nice. Very good play. Cairnavon, he's gonna push up. Let me wait for this T-34 to aim at the Super Pershing now. Alright. I was more concerned about this Borsig now, but I don't know if I'm going to get over there in time to help out that much. Ooh, very nice ISU. Holy shit. Just save that Super Pershing. But really, I have full HP now, so, you know, playing it safe definitely paid off for me here. You know, there wasn't really a huge need for me to make any big risks. And now I can afford to pop out and take these little pot shots without worrying about being one-shotted as much. You know, there's still a chance, considering they still have already. But, you know, it's less likely for me to get one-shotted here. Shit. Sorry, Super Pershing. I'm trying. Okay, that worked out in my favor. I might get one-shotted by him now, though. That's my predicament. Very nice. I'll definitely try to help out with this Cairnavon, but now I have a 59-16 and a KV-5. The Strev, I didn't think he had shots on me, and I'm dead. Honestly, I didn't think he had shots on me, because I thought, you know, they'd be able to kill him, but I took my eyes off the minimap for a little bit too long. I still think they got this, though. Hey, excuse me. Hopefully I actually muted that right. Alright. Taco Bell? Oh, I hate you, Uber. I'm surprised I got that. Usually, like emojis or whatever, I can't keep up with. Alright, so after this, it was a KB5 and then the WZ-111. Yay, I got, you know, a clover. Yay. Hey, I still think I did pretty damn good job with spotting. That really screwed up their whole plan over there. All those stealthy TDs trying to take shots unseen. Nope, not going to happen when I'm in a match. Alright, so I am very inclined to push the one line, but could end very badly for me. It just depends on who's over there for the enemies, but it's just pushing into town is going to be hard because, you know, E75 more likely to be over there, Type 4 Heavy, AMX M4, you know, they might have a couple Borsigs back here. Granted, they're probably going to be over this way, but KV5 with low pen against Tier 9 heavies like that, and even the AMX M449, even with APCR, not going to really be able to pen them. So I'm more useful to my team, hopefully, if I can get out here, hug this ridge, and push up and keep them spotted. Actually going to be able to do that is very, very unlikely, but I'm at least going to try. Ugh. Okay, this Type 4 Heavy might honestly ruin this for me. I didn't want to be seen. At least we haven't seen any of their guys push across, but honestly we don't have any scouts that can really see that far. Taking a little bit of a risk here. Ooh, no. I am not pushing into him. Yep, I'm going to take a lot of damage pulling back, but the Emil 2 would be able to wreck me. That thing is just fierce. As far as I wouldn't be able to pen anything outside of his hull, but yeah. Unfortunately, the enemy, they played this side like I like to play it. You push, you get to the enemy team side, and they can't push out without taking a ton of damage. Alright, so I'm going to instead start moving over the other way. But, you know, almost always, depending on what side you're on, you always have a large group of people sitting at either end. So, you know, whoever pushes across typically wins that whole side of the map. So I'm just going to make my way over this side. Considering I can't fight over there on the hills, I'm just going to get a very large amount of damage thrown my way. I still don't have one close enough to me. Not that it's good for you. I can't eat that stuff. I got real tacos, fortunately. I'll take them over Taco Bell any day. I just missed that giant freaking cupola. Not that I want to fight against a Type 4 Heavy, but it's looking to be that way. Our team is just struggling. They're like pushing right into him here. Alright, this Patriot. I'd rather him shoot me than flank these guys. How are they still not damaging him now? It does not compute here. Thank you. I was surprised that he let me ram him, if I can say so myself. Not getting enough freaking gun depression here. I don't want to shoot him on his turret. There we go. That would not be good for me. How is this Type 4? I have no words. Is that Super Persian not playing? They are... I have no clue. Oh, the Super Persian's... That's why he's freaking... He's sideways, which shit, now I can't penetrate him. Whew. Thank God. Now, the question is, can I help save this guy? I'm gonna probably go with no. I'm gonna at least try here. I just need to be able to somehow nudge enough. This might be pointless for me, but I don't have enough HP, honestly, to help elsewhere. It's just like, oh, I can't even push because of that big ass tank there. Oh yeah, yes it is. I'm trying. I am trying so much. Yes, I can play that, hipster. I can play that tank. I don't even know if this is gonna work when I get him out. I need to get him to that rubble pile in front of him. We're going, we're going. Oh no, hopefully I don't get stuck now. Success! I feel like I deserve a tip for that. From him, not from you guys. He is very lucky that I did not have a lot of HP. If I had over 50% HP, I honestly would have left him. Oh, accuracy, what are you doing to me here? Thank you. That was definitely very kind on my part. I was tempted to leave him. And the Borsig kills me out of everybody. You know, there's a Skoda right next to him. No, let's just shoot at that KV5. I've probably flipped over, I would say at least a dozen people. I typically look to see if a person's at least salvageable to flip them over. You know, if I can get to them safely and it's not going to cost my team tanks like somewhere else getting pushed on, you know, I'll do it. It's definitely better than, you know, if you look like an idiot by leaving him and then you die and you guys lose because he's the only tank left. Yeah. Not a bad match. Whoops. Not a bad match though in a KV2. Glad we won that. Alright, so next up was the WZ-11114 on a good map for it. See, let's hope that works out there. Alright. Well, at least yeah, I have a little bit of credits here. I'll be able to get one piece of equipment for the M4A1. I kind of like this map for this. I'll take it. It's just, this is all going to come down to the first, I would say, the first 45 seconds of the match. If we have a lot of people go this way, then I would honestly say that we're probably going to win. If our TDs decide to go that way, we're probably going to lose. It's just, yeah. It's just we have TDs, we have good alpha to smack the enemy, and they have quite a few mediums. They're not going to be able to out-brawl us here in the beginning. But if we let them kind of play the vision game and let their SPGs on us, chip us away, then we're going to have some problems. I'm going to hopefully slip by here without taking much damage. So I'm just hoping to get in a decent spot here. A lot of our tanks though are going right for some reason. It's kind of unfortunate. Just gotta be careful, 'cause SPGs can really hit me there. Better off pushing on this right side where this E3 is going. Granted, SPGs can hit me over here too, it's just a little bit less likely. Not much, but enough that I'm definitely gonna move out of the... Oh, sorry there, Patriot. I didn't think he was gonna stop at that moment. Shit. Yeah, it's just these guys sitting back there, honestly, doing themselves a disservice. They're not really going to get any shots there. It's not standard battle guys. Yeah, it's like, I'm not too surprised they're there. A lot of times you see that, you know, they set up there and, you know, the only time they get shots is when, you know, the enemy has either won that side or, you know, we basically lost the match at that point. I hate people, you know, that go to spots like that. Like, go to spots where you're useful in the beginning of the match. because if you do not do that, you're definitely putting your hands in the enemy team. Oh shit. I'll let you take the shot, E5. Go, go. So I'm going to take a lot of damage here, but I'm just trying to move the battle up. Shit. I was trying to mess this shot up, but I was a little bit late. Honestly surprised they focused on him first. The T-28, you know, he is nearly the same amount of DPM, I believe, and, you know, better to take the weaker tank out first. Alright, since I got whacked by a T-10, I'm just going to ping over there, but, you know, E3 gets pushed right out into that. Finally our TDs are pushing up because they finally realize, like, hey, the enemy's just, you know, sitting out there. They're not coming towards our base. Oh wait, the cap's all the way over in C9. Maybe we should move up. A little bit too late for you guys to do that. But, you know, we should be fine here. I don't know why I just shot that. That was terrible. I hit his gun. Alright, their SPG's aiming at me. I can live with that. It's just their SPG being here. I would like to get right about here. He won't have good shots on me. It's just... This is going to be very iffy because our TDs and our one medium, they're all spread out there. That TVP can take one of them out and really cause havoc. They almost would have been better staying as a group, cuddling around the theoretical base down there and letting us just do all the heavy lifting. E5, please, 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 just wait for me. Since we do have to reset here at some point. I don't necessarily want to push in here, but at the same time, here we go. Same time, we do need to get that cap out from, you know, looming over our head. Now, if we stay as a group, we can get this T-10 out very easily. Very nice. You know, we made a mistake of our guys down here in the south kind of split up and they start dying. They're kind of making the same mistake here too. They split up a little bit. You know, now we're just able to kind of come in right behind them. Had they just forgotten about the cap and honestly just rolled through the south, they probably would have won this. Or if they, you know, stayed as a group and rolled up back towards the north to kill us. At this point, though, they're going to try to chase down our SPGs, so it's still, I think, better for me to push out here because we're not looking to cap, it looks like. I'm just going to try to stay safe enough to where if they do decide to turn back on me, I can kind of pop back to safety. I know GW. I'm trying to get up to where I can get a shot on somebody. At least you got one of those guys. You're a little straggler there. And this is how you lose matches later on. I'll gladly ram him. But, you know, at this point, you know, the Object 140, he's just looking for as much damage as he can, but he still has a slight chance. He has enough HP to where if I do push up here before I have allies with me, that's where we're playing right into him. I just want to go with my E5 here. That way I can't get singled out. He can't get singled out. Ooh, why'd you just shoot me? You saw me there. Like, I know I drove in front of you, but dude. Luckily this isn't life or death here, but that was uncool. But pretty good match. Hopefully you enjoy that, Dana. Thanks for the request. Alright, VK2801 up next. Got a mastery badge first class here. High caliber, but difference, you know, small difference between us winning and losing there and them winning and losing. Towards the end, we stayed as a group, they did not. And, you know, that was the difference between us, you know, getting the win. It's just, you know, even early in the matches, but very importantly later on in the matches, when your tanks are, you know, not full HP, just stay as a group. Even if you're not like protecting all the flanks, just moving as one is, you know, pretty critical to winning. Unless, you know, the enemy completely screws up. But, you know, the more apart you are, the easier it is for the enemy to pick you off without taking a lot of shots in return. Thank you, guys. So I'll play the VK here. Then I'm going to try to get some, you know, the triples, doubles done. That'll probably be it, since it's right around 11 here. You know, Sunday I'm going to be streaming the same time, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Tomorrow I probably won't be on streaming. Like, I'm planning on, you know, adding in some random streams, even on days where I don't have them scheduled. But tomorrow I'm fairly tied up. We're playing some board games, but we're just getting a little bit of snow and it's gonna be crappy out. So why not have a, you know, family game night? I was hoping this M5 would, a little bit late, pop through there. Awesome. I got him in the end. I will gladly try to sneak up here now. There's this big bad OI back there, but I'm gonna hope he does not get to where he can hit me. Oh lord. Oh, that's not good. Definitely not good. I guess missed that too. The other OI was just sitting and waiting. Well played. T-34. Whoa. Can we talk about this? You definitely do not want to shoot that invisible tank shooting at you. He could have just killed me, but luckily he did not see my silhouette. I really want to push through here, but the Skoda out here is troubling. Shit, it's, I guess can't shoot through these buildings like I normally like. Just because my HE, you know, won't actually go through those. Yeah, I know, you're pinging me, you're pinging me. Freak out. Honestly, the guy playing the Churchill gun carrier, he can't really move anywhere. Shit. At least I hit him though. Even though I couldn't see him, I knew he was popping back out there. I just don't know why that guy was freaking out pinging. Like, we're winning. We're ahead by so many tanks that just let people play. It's not like you're a general or something. Ooh, awesome. Gotta love those shots in this sometimes. I really like playing this tank though. Not exactly the best scouting map in the world on the Ensk, but this thing just is nasty with HE rounds. Even against higher tiers, you can annoy the piss out of people. Just chucking HE and the occasional heat to like a side of a, you know, like American Heavy or something. Oh, it annoys the hell out of people. Pretty good match though. Mastery Badge second class. Most amount of damage on both teams. Pretty quick and easy match there. So I need to do the double on the Dreaded. I should stop saying that. Dreaded Panther 2, but one more time. It's just, for whatever reason, it just feels like I get the worst luck in this thing. Statistically, it's not a bad tank. It's just, yeah. But it is looking to get rebalanced. Who knows when that'll happen? They were, again, so many things seem to be tied up on Super Test and then never see the light of day, which seem like good ideas, but who knows? I'm tempted not to go up the hill, just because I'm all the way at the bottom. But you know how I feel about this map. I'm just gonna see where everybody heads first. What the hell? I completely agree there. Our KV2 does not look... Yeah, maybe that is the derp gun. It looks like the small one for some reason to me. I'm banking on their heavy tanks not being in front of me here. Like 100%. If they're in front of me, I am not going to like my decision to go down here. If they are not, I'm just going to drive up right behind them on the hill and shoot them. The very worst, they turn around and try to kill me. Oh my god. I spoke too soon. At least it's the least heavy of their heavies, but... Alright. I can still make this work. That was definitely a long shot, but I figured it was worth it. Ooh, there's an E25 up there. He can't hit me, though. Where did this IKV go? Don't know, but I know I know I can be shot from up here. Yeah, I know your little dirty tricks, E25. I'm just gonna make my way this way. So you keep an eye out on those tanks behind me. Really want to kill the IKV, but... Whew. I took that shot just because by the time I get here, you know, it doesn't matter if I had held my round or shot it or not. You know, better for me to take the shot and get the potential hit. So that worked out. I'm gonna hope they win against that Comet, honestly. Shit. They aren't doing too hot against the Comet. Okay. I gave him enough chances there. This VK most likely pulled back, I would say, towards the hill. I could be wrong, but I don't think he pushed down straight ahead there. You know, it's just finding him. Pretty fun little match. Ooh, shit, there's an IS-6. I'm glad he's back there, but Man, his team probably does not like him right now. Maybe they did push that way. Oh well. The VK is all the way on our side, but you know, at least we got a win here. Yeah, this might be my last battle though, guys, since I'm gonna get a double. Yeah, thanks again for watching. You know, my next stream is gonna be Sunday, 8 to 11 p.m. EST, and then you know, every day, like tomorrow, another replay comes out. But every day I have a video coming out now. But Monday I may or may not be streaming, even though it's not scheduled. It's probably not going to be World of Tanks. I might pop in for a World of Warships stream. Maybe some Overwatch. If I pick up Battlefield 1, maybe Battlefield 1. You never know. But, you know, I'm going to try to pop in for some different games here. This IS-6 is like, I don't know if they're a bot or what, but holy crap, are they like afraid of everything. Like, but again, thank you guys, you know, for watching. Thank you very much for the tips, and you know, the one subscriber tonight. Thank you very much, Cross Rider. Always appreciate it. Yeah, not a bad way to end the stream. I'll take that. Hey, our T-150 helping out. I'd rather have him on my team than, you know, an IS-6 hiding in the back the whole time. But yeah, thanks again for watching, guys, and you know, hopefully you have a good weekend. Hopefully RNG is very kind to you as well. Yeah, I'll see you guys hopefully on Sunday. If not, see you sometime, you know, rest of the week. You know, have a good one. See ya.